Now that we get a chance to breathe and calm down after all the breaking news from last week, let's talk about some subject matters that we wanted to bring you on the show a few days back. First off is the potential of drug testing lawmakers. Where does that stand right now?
Well, this session we've had at least a couple of bills moved through the state senate relating to drug testing people who accept either welfare or state unemployment money. I voted and supported those measures, but we also need elected officials to stand up as role models, and we need teachers and elected officials to tell our young people the dangers associated with taking illegal drugs. So the committee substitute to Senate Bill 612 would require any individual who is elected to state office to submit to drug screening and testing the day they take office. The results will be posted by the State Ethics Commission. The Ethics Commission can post the results only after the candidate agrees to release the results. The Secretary of State will create rules and forms needed to waive any privacy issues dealing with medical records. The cost of the drug screening and testing will be paid by the elected official. If there are any constitutional issues such as search and seizure implicated by this bill, they have been addressed by doing just a few things. Number one, having it apply to elected officials, not candidates, allowing the elected official to have the ultimate power over the test results, having a set time for the test, no random, and lastly, the lack of a penalty. So there is not a punishment mechanism in the bill, so those who fail a drug screening will not lose their elected position or face any fines.
Okay. So why? Okay, then why have it? Then is it just public embarrassment or what?
No, I think the voters should know, and we obviously, unfortunately, I have to tell you, under the bill that was filed, any person wishing to run for public office, candidates would also have to submit to a drug testing or screening. The cost of the screening, of course, would be paid by them. The candidate would turn in the screening results when they file paperwork to run for the office. Unfortunately, I couldn't go with the original file bill.
Okay.
Because there was some constitutional issues there. So we take the test, and I think the public will demand to know, what the results are.
Well, it's good for the electorate to know, understood. But then, regular people, regular Joes that go to work, either they're in a teaching position or some other job where they are required to take a drug test. That they fail that, they lose their gig. And then you're telling me lawmakers would not lose their gig if they found that they're doing cocaine or some sort of illicit drug or something like that.
I think they're going to. I think they're going to lose their gig, but from the people that elected them or voted for them, I think they'll lose trust in them. And I think that we need to stay drug-free. I think it's important for us to send a positive.
So you put the onus on the voters to get rid of them. That's the whole idea. Well,
I think so. I think we need to be transparent about who we are, especially when it deals with illegal drugs.
And if the community votes them back in, well, it says a lot about the community that they represent. Joining us on 710 KURV, Senator Eddie Lucio.
Senator Tim Sullivan here. Good morning up there.
Tim, how are you?
Doing well.
Thank you.
Is this the only way you think you can get your bill through, as by compromising with no random testing and putting in no specific penalties? Was that a compromise to try to get this thing through a little quicker?
I would like to see someone put an amendment in it along the process, especially in the House, that they should take a drug test. Those that are elected already, like me right now, that we should have to submit to a test as soon as the bill becomes law. I would think that would be constitutional, and we would know before the next election, how people fare when it comes to illegal drugs and taking illegal drugs. So there's ways of addressing the bill that would make it even more transparent and making us all more accountable. Like Sergio just said, you can't even drive a truck in this state if you fail a drug test.
Yeah.
So I think this is a very important issue across the border. Right there on the border, we've had tens of thousands of people killed, men, women, and children, innocent men, women, and children. So there's a real war going out there on drugs. So we need to stand tall in terms of, how we feel and what we do with illegal drugs.
Anyone opposing your bill? Anyone, strongly opposing your bill?
Oh, there's some grumblings. Obviously, there are people that feel that they shouldn't be held to any high standards. That we should pass laws impacting you and others, but we shouldn't take it to whoever. Some make me feel like they're above the law, and they're above us all. So I don't feel that way. I think we're equal. I think we should show that we too are not afraid to take a simple drug test to show people, especially our children, that we're drug free, and it's cool to be drug free.
Senator, thank you for your time. By the way, where is the legislation right now? Is it out of committee? Is it still being talked about in committee?
It's in the State Affairs Committee. I have a meeting this morning at 9 o'clock, and we'll be addressing it at that time.
All right, sir. We'll see what happens to the legislation. That's Brownsville State Senator Eddie Lucio on 710 KURV.